Okay, in this video we're going to look at the slope-intercept form of a line. Slope-intercept form of a line. So let's say we're given this function here, or this linear equation, 2x minus y equals 5. Okay, I want to solve this thing for y. When we're talking about this slope-intercept form, we always solve for y. So I get 2x minus y equals 5. I need to get y by itself, so I subtract 2x from both sides, and I get that a negative y equals 5 minus 2x. Okay, now I have a negative y. I want to get y by itself, so to get rid of that negative there, I can multiply by a negative 1, because a negative 1 times a negative is a positive. But anything I do to a math equation, I must do it to both sides. So I multiply this side by a negative 1. And we get that a positive y equals negative 1 distributes to the 5. So I should put parentheses around that. Negative 1 distributes to the 5 and gives me a negative 5. And the negative 1 distributes to the negative 2x and gives me a positive 2x. And we typically write the 2x part first, and we get y equals 2x minus 5. Okay? And so let's look at that line and let's find the y-intercept. That is, on the y-intercept, that's when x is 0. So we set x equal to 0, and we get that y equals 2 times 0 minus 5. And we get that y equals 2 times 0, which is 0, and negative 5. So my y-intercept is at the x-coordinate 0, negative 5. And if you notice here, we had that negative 5 there. It's going to turn out that every time you solve a linear equation for y, that constant there is the intercept. So that's the intercept part of slope-intercept for a line. Okay? Now let's find the x-intercept. And that is going to be set y equal to 0. And we get that 0 equals 2x minus 5. And we're going to add 5 to both sides. And we get that 5 equals 2x. Divide out by the 2. And we get that x equals 5 halves. So this gives me the ordered pair over 5 halves of 0. Okay? Now I want to use these 2 points. I have 2 points now, 0, negative 5, and 5 halves 0. I'm going to use those to find the slope. So let's find the slope over here. Let's do that in this pretty color here. So m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So m equals, let's say 0, let's call this my y sub 2. So 0 minus a negative 5, that's my y sub 1. And since I called 0 my y sub 2, I have to call the x coordinate there my x sub 2, so that's going to be 5 halves minus 0. And we get that m equals 0 minus a negative 5 is going to be a positive 5. 5 halves minus 0 is 5 halves. And to divide by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, so that's going to be 5 times 2/5. let's do 5 over 1. And when we multiply by a fraction, we just multiply straight across. And so we got the 5 times 2 is 10 over 5. 1 times 1 is 5. 5 goes in 10 2 times. Okay? And if you notice over here, we had that 2 right there beside the x, and that gives me the slope-intercept. That's why we call this the slope-intercept, because actually when you solve for y, you've actually solved for your slope. There is 2, and my y-intercept is a -5. That is slope-intercept form. When you solve for y, you get y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y coordinate of the y-intercept. Okay, so let's find the slope. For example here, find the slope of, I don't know, let's say 1/2 x minus 2y equals 7. Okay, so to find the slope, I want to get y by itself. So the first thing I do is I subtract 1/2 x from both sides. And I get that a -2y equals 7 minus 1/2 x. Okay? And now I got the -2 there. I need to get rid of it. Divide both sides by -2. I get that y equals a -7/2 minus 1/2 divided by 2 divided by -2 x, and we get y equals a -7/2, and let's a -1/2 divided by 2. So 2, we can think of 2 as 2 over 1. So to divide by a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. So we do 1/2 times 1 over 2, and we get 1/4, and that thing was negative, and that's negative, so we get a positive 1/4 plus 1/4 x. So my slope-intercept form is y equals 1/4 x, which is mx. Oops. 1/4 x minus 7/2. Okay. So here I have that the slope is m equals 1/4. And I know that my y-intercept equals the ordered pair 0, -7/2. Okay? Now let's take that one step further. And so we got 1/2 x minus 2y equals 7. 1/2 x minus 2y equals 7. And we got that y equals 1/4 x minus 7/2. This is y equals 1/4 x minus 7/2. So this was our original equation here, and we put it in slope-intercept form by solving for y. And now let's sketch a graph of this thing. So now we're going to sketch a graph. Knowing that, so our slope was 1/4, and y-intercept is over 0, -7/2. So let's look at it. It would be okay doing something like this. So -7/2, that's a little more than 3, right? So I want 1, 2, 3, something here. See how that works. Let's mark some tick marks. Okay, so I know this point here is 0 and negative 7 halves. So a negative 7 halves, let's so it's gonna be what, 3 and 1/2, right? But let's get out the calculator just to make sure everybody's okay with it. Accessories, where's my calculator? There. Okay. So when we look at negative 7 divided by 2, negative 3.5. Okay, so that's going to be negative 1, 2, 3. That tick mark's no good. Let me extend this line. And get my tick marks to be down here. Okay, so negative 1, 2, 3.5. It's about right there. And this tells me I rise 1. Tells me my rise. That's my rise. My rise is 1, so I'll go up 1, go up there, and it tells me to run. Tells me to run 4. Go over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and at that point I plot another point. Okay. So to get to graph the line, I just connect those 2 points. And that would be the equation of my line. But here's my origin, there's my x, and there's my y. And that's going to conclude this video on the slope-intercept form of a linear equation.